Your intuition will tell your heart in no uncertain terms, this is right for me, or this is not right for me. Recently, I was connecting with a client and working with all these clients get kind of mushed up in my head, and I can't remember, was it somebody's grandmother, somebody's aunt, somebody's mom? I don't remember who it was. I was connecting with a client for someone in spirit. It was a mom. And this mom in spirit said, there are two questions that will change your life. The first one is this: what do I know to be true in my heart about this? What do I know in my heart to be true about this? Now, when Paul, that minister, was telling me all of this about you're wrong and you're not getting it right and you're just making it up, in a split second, I knew in my heart my truth. My truth is, this is real. And it's not just real for me. It's real for all of us. That's the first question. What do I know to be true in my heart about this? The second question that will change your life is this: how can I live in the expression of what I know to be true? That's a way that you can dethrone any wizard in your life, but it's also a way that you can get any flying monkey off of your back. The flying monkeys, by the way, are all the negative thoughts that you hold, the old programming that you have, the old stories that you keep telling yourself again and again and again. And those stories might be, I'm not worthy. Now, you might have a very good reason why you feel you're not worthy. You might have a very good reason why you feel you can't find your voice, or why you might not be talented enough, or why you feel you might not be loved. You might have a very good story. But I will tell you this: those stories, those beliefs, anything that's holding you back that's negative is like those scary flying monkeys that will drag you into the dungeon of the castle. And that, to me, is your hell here on earth. I have so many clients that come in to see me who are telling me the stories of, this is why I have guilt, this is why I'm afraid, this is why I'm so grief-stricken, this is why I'm so stuck. They all know why. They don't know how to get out of the dungeon. So tonight I'm going to show you how to do that. Look at your face is just precious. She's like this. Really? She's so excited. And I bet in your mind, and in many minds, having been in the dungeon for a long time, you're hearing, oh, me. Although I wonder if they're really saying, my ego. Go. Go. So we got to watch for the flying monkeys. You're going to ask yourself in any moment, whenever you feel stressed, whenever you feel afraid, you're going to ask yourself, in this moment, what do I know to be true in my heart? You don't ask your head. You know what happens when you ask your head? That's where all the little flying monkeys are, and they're scary. Those flying monkeys live in your head. And they'll take you back to the dungeon again and again and again and again and again. I want to share a story. Another client came to see me. This woman walked into my office, and for those of you who have a healing practice, you know by the look on somebody's face when they're not really all there. Any healers here? Do you know what I'm saying? You can, it's almost, I call them like the walking dead. I have more people that walk into my office that are more dead than the dead people. Seriously. So this woman walked in, and she had no facial expression at all. She was in a tremendous amount of pain. And so she sat down and she started telling me her story. She said, 25 years ago, I was driving a bus for a living. I loved driving a bus. It made me feel so happy. I loved all the kids that were on my route. I loved them all. It made me so happy. One day I was driving my bus, and this 19-year-old boy, I don't know where he came from, Sandy, but he came and he jumped on the hood of my bus. I wasn't going very fast. I was probably only going about 15 miles an hour. But as he jumped on the hood of my bus, he fell off and he fell underneath the wheel. And he died instantly. She said, I was never tried for this accident. But I punished myself. Because I knew God was going to punish me. Now, in the background of my mind and in my heart, what I'm hearing is, God would never punish you for that, but you are. You're doing a really good job of punishing yourself for that. Now, this incident happened 25 years ago. And she said to me, Sandy, I really don't dare to get too happy anymore. I bet you know someone like this. In fact, you might feel like this yourself sometime. She said, I really don't dare get too happy because I'm afraid if I get too happy, that's when the punishment's going to come in. If I kind of stay under God's radar, I'll be okay. So in other words, if I keep myself in a semi-state of misery, God can't touch me there, can he? I knew I had to be very gentle with this woman because she was in a lot of pain. But I also knew that there was a truth in my heart I couldn't give her, because just like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz, this woman was going to have to walk her own path. She was going to have to find her own truth in her heart, even though I knew it. But sometimes you have to let somebody find their own truth so that they can live it and experience it in every fiber of her being. I took her on a journey inside of her mind. In 1 hour, she left my office completely free. In that 1 hour, she found her truth. And she realized she had been telling herself a lie for 25 years. And she was living out the pain and the punishment of that lie for 25 years. Have you done that to yourself? We all do. There's no one that's putting us into that dungeon but us. And guess what? We're the ones that have the power to get ourselves back out again. As she left my office, she turned to me and she gave me a huge hug and she said, Sandy, I don't know how to thank you. You changed my life. You healed me. And I looked at her and I said, thank you, but I didn't heal you. I just gave you the tools so that you could heal yourself. That's what I'm here to tell all of you. You may know where you're at right now in your life, and you may not like where you're at in your life. You may also know where you want to feel energetically in your life, but you may not know how to go from point A to point B. Let me help you along your yellow brick road. I will be like your Glinda, and I will guide you through. And before tonight ends, we are going to go through a process where you will have an opportunity to free yourself from your own dungeon. It's interesting, you know, as I work with many clients over the years, it's interesting when people call up and they